Hello and welcome back. Today we have Platinum Review number 46, Shadow of the Colossus. Shadow of the Colossus is a third-person, action-adventure game focusing on large-scale boss battles with intense platforming. Developed by Bluepoint Games and published by Sony Interactive Entertainment, the game was released in 2018 and is a remake of the 2005 original from the PlayStation 2. While the assets were remade from the ground up, the gameplay is the same as the original, although it does have an updated control system. The game begins with main protagonist Wander, riding his horse on a moonlit night. He travels through rocky mountainsides, dense woods, and pouring rain until he spots an old building in the distance. He rides until morning as he crosses a bridge into the ancient structure. Inside, he makes his way down a large winding path, carrying a woman in his arms. Eventually, he reaches an altar and places the woman's body down upon it. A disembodied voice now narrates in what seems to be a mix of Japanese and Latin, providing some background information. The voice speaks of the ability to bring back the dead, but the lands here are forbidden. As Wander looks over the woman's body, dark spirits begin to emerge from the ground. He draws his sword, ready to fight. But the spirits fade away. A voice then speaks to Wander from the light above, speaking in both a male and female tone simultaneously. Wander answers, asking if the voice is that of Dorman, the being that can bring the woman, Mono, back to life. She had a cursed fate and was therefore sacrificed. Dorman responds that dead souls cannot be reclaimed, but that the ancient sword Wander possesses may make it possible. Dorman explains that within the shrine are 16 idols that must be destroyed, but they cannot be harmed by mortal hands. Wander must search the lands for the 16 Colossus that are the incarnations of these idols. Dorman warns Wander that the price to pay is steep, but Wander doesn't care and accepts the task. I apologize in advance, but I am probably going to butcher a lot of these names in the process. Wander now sets off, accompanied by his trusty horse, Agro. In the game, it sounds like Aro, but I'll let you decide for yourself. Wander possesses both a sword and bow and arrow as weapons. To find the target Colossus, Wander must hold his sword up to the sunlight, which will project a beam of light in the general direction to follow. The light points the way to the first Colossus, and Wander heads off. Along the way, the player is introduced to some of the basic controls and techniques. Wander can grab certain objects and climb with a limited duration. The yellow bar on the bottom of the screen indicates how much longer he can hold on before losing grip. This will be essential to monitor during Colossus fight. Wander can also crouch, roll, jump, and adjust the camera position. The biggest issue I had with the camera was that it automatically adjusted. I would position the camera to the angle I would like, and it would just move right back, with no way to change this setting. After a while, you do get used to it. After reaching the top of the area, Wander spots the first Colossus, Valus. This Minotaur-like creature walks upright on two legs, and the goal here is to find and attack the vital weak spots. Wander can hold his sword up to the light to spot the locations of the weak spots, but puzzle solving must be used to figure out how to reach them. Generally, the spots that contain fur can be grabbed and climbed up, and here, Wander can do so on the back of one leg. Make sure to constantly hold down the grab button to ensure you don't fall off, especially when the Colossus begins to move and attempt to shake you free. From here, Wander can stab the leg, bringing Valus to its knees. With it down, the goal now is to climb higher up to the additional weak spots. For Valus, it is the top of the head. With enough damage, the Colossus will fall defeated. The Valley of the Wanderer trophy is yours. Each time a Colossus is defeated, your maximum health and stamina will increase. In addition, the black energy that was emitted during battle will rush Wander and he will pass out, reawakening back in the shrine and ready to find the next Colossus. Before heading out each time, Dorman will provide a brief hint about the next Colossus and what you might expect. Outside, hold the sword up to the sun again and let the light guide you. Bursting through the wall, we see the second Colossus, Quadratus. This mammoth-like creature is a giant four-legged beast that requires some precise shooting to take down. The bottom of its hooves glow yellow, and this is the part you must aim for. Hitting it will cause the Colossus to stumble down. The resulting crash will create a mound of sand that can be used to reach the fur of the leg. From here, Wander must carefully navigate the side of Quadratus and its bony spine to reach the head. As always, hang on for dear life as the Colossus shakes in anger. With enough hits, the head will be cleared, but Quadratus has more than one weak spot. Carefully reach the back this time, and a couple stabs will make quick work of it, and the Colossus will fall defeated. The Mammoth trophy is yours. Wander passes out and reawakens back in the shrine with another teaser from Dorman. As usual, use the guiding light to travel to the location of the next Colossus. This takes Wander to a large arena set in the middle of a lake. He must swim and climb his way to the top, where he encounters Gaius, the third Colossus. This upright beast is a sword-wielding knight that will smash or step on Wander if you are not quick enough. The goal here is to lure the Colossus towards a metal platform in the middle of the arena. Once there, get Gaius to swing its sword at you, dodge, and the sword will hit the platform instead. This will destroy the armor on the sword arm, allowing for a path to the weak spot. This time, dodge the sword attack on the ground, and it will temporarily get stuck, allowing for a perfect ramp up the arm. Make your way to the top of the head and stab that weak spot. Gaius shakes in anger, but with enough hits the spot will clear and Wander must move on to the next weak spot. This one is just above the waist and is a little trickier to reach as you must time your jumps properly to make it. With enough hits, Gaius collapses and the Wake the Night trophy is yours. Back at the shrine, Dorman provides the usual pre-travel tip. Following the light to a large open, grassy graveyard where the next Colossus waits. Phaedra, resembling a horse, emerges and proceeds to follow after Wander. The trick here is to bait the Colossus to follow him back to the beginning where a hill-like structure is. This structure is actually a series of connecting tunnels that allows for sneaky travel underneath the hill. Shoot Phaedra and retreat into the tunnel. Follow it along to come out on the other side. Wait and make sure to not be seen, as Phaedra will eventually lower its body to look for you at the previous tunnel. Take this opportunity to climb its back to reach the base of the neck. A couple hits will do this one in, and the final weak spot is not far, located at the head. Hit this spot, and the Land of the Gravestones trophy will be yours as Phaedra collapses in defeat. Dorman speaks of the next Colossus soaring in the sky as Wander heads out in search of it. The light guides Wander to a dark lake that surrounds some crumbling ancient ruins. In the distance, he spots Avion, the fifth Colossus. This flying bird circles the lake before perching high atop a structure. Wander slowly swims his way towards a platform in the middle of the lake. From here, he shoots at Avion to get it off its perch. Avion will circle and dive bomb at Wander, carefully time a jump to avoid its attack, and grab its wing as it goes by. From here, climb to the top of the wings and reach the ends, careful not to be thrown off to the water below. Avion will flap its wings violently as the wind gusts and rain pours. I was knocked off from this many times on my first attempt. After enough determination and persistence, hitting the weak spots on both wings will reward the Riding the Wind trophy as Avion crashes into the water below. Now in search of the sixth Colossus, the light guides Wander through the desert and underneath the temple. Wander can carefully drop down to the chamber below, or just go for it like I did. The chamber wall lowers, releasing Barba, a large troll-like beast with a long beard. Barba is quick on its feet and will attempt to smash Wander with its mighty fist. Dodge the attack and allow Barba to break through the adjacent wall. Repeat this until you can go no farther and take cover under an overhanging section. Barba will lower its head to look for you, which creates an opening to grab and climb the beard. Make your way to the top of the head and hang on as usual. After taking down that weak spot, Barba will flail around, making it difficult to locate the next weak spot, which is on the left side of the lower back. Reach this and Barba will fall, earning you the Tomb of the Giant trophy. Wander then searches for the seventh Colossus until he reaches a stone pathway that overlooks the water. He drops down into the water below as Hydrus, a large electric eel, swims around. Defeating this beast requires some unique puzzle solving. The goal here is to have Wander lure Hydrus into attacking by the surface. Avoid the electricity, and if you time your approach, you can grab the furry part of the back as it emerges from the water. Hold on tightly as hydras will submerge below the surface. Once resurfacing, make your way to the base of each of the electrical spikes along the spine. Repeat this process and make sure to grab on when hydras dives. Take too long and you will be thrown off. Once the electrical weak spots are taken out, the final one is located on the top of the head. Hit this and the Waves of Lightning trophy is yours. The water cannot save Wander from the black energy, and he passes out to reawaken at the shrine again. The journey towards the 8th Colossus takes Wander into the forest, through a beautifully clear lake, and into a temple. Inside, he platforms and parkours his way into a Colosseum area. This circular structure is immensely high, with bars on all sides. And Kuro Mori, a fire-breathing lizard, lies at the bottom. The goal here is to make your way down a couple of flights of stairs towards the bottom. Don't go down all the way, and look out at an opening and shoot Kuro Mori to lure him up high. As he pursues you, make your way down to the middle of the arena. While Kuro Mori is clinging to the walls, shoot at 2 of its glowing legs to bring it tumbling down. Doing so will render it temporarily unconscious and its underside exposed. Hit the weak spot before it gets back up. When shooting at the legs, be sure to do so as quickly as possible, because once spotted, Kuro Mori will shoot fireballs at Wander, which even if they miss, will do an area of effect damage that can wipe out your health extremely fast. Rinse and repeat until the Scaler of the Colosseum trophy is yours. Now halfway through accomplishing his goal, Wander has a vision of an awakened Mono. But as he comes to, he realizes his task is not yet complete. The light guides Wander to a desolate and dried out lake bed, filled with geysers that blast water into the air. Emerging from the darkness is Basaran, a turtle-like creature that can shoot fireball projectiles at Wander. This 4-legged beast is slow but powerful. Your task is to lure Basaran towards the geyser to get one to go off right onto its belly. This will cause its feet to slip, exposing a yellow glowing spot on the bottoms. Shoot 2 of these and it will flip completely over onto its side. Take this opportunity to scale the bottom to reach the hard shell. Wait for it to flip back over and then make your way to the weak spot on top of the head. After enough hits, the Lurker of the Cave trophy will be yours as Basaran collapses. In search of the 10th Colossus, Wander travels towards a cave where inside he finds a sand dune surrounded by rocks from all angles. From within the sand, Dirge, a giant snake, emerges. This beast is fast and constantly burrows beneath the sand. It is essential to utilize the speed of Agro in this encounter. Circle the area at full speed until Dirge follows in pursuit. It will peek its head above the ground just enough for you to shoot at its eyes while riding away. This will cause it to crash into a rock, leaving its back vulnerable to attack. Climb up to attack the weak spots located along the back. Destroy them to earn the Mystery in the Sand trophy. This time, the light guides Wander through the sand dunes into a structure in the rocks. He jumps across a broken platform to a flat area where Celosia, a bull, waits to attack. This beast is seeing red and will charge at you, knocking you to the ground, which takes an annoyingly long time to recover from, especially when Celosia instantly knocks you back down before you can recover. Quick roll your way to safety on top of a pillar. Celosia will continue to charge in anger, knocking a torch to the ground. Carefully pick it up and climb back up the pillar to light the torch. Now, the power is in your hands. Celosia fears the fire, and you must approach it to make it back up enough to accidentally fall off the cliff. This breaks its protective armor, exposing the weak spot on the back. Climb aboard and ride the bull. Celosia will attempt to kick you off, but hang on and hit the weak spot. Celosia will eventually fall over, defeated, and you will earn the Guardian and the Pit trophy. Following the light, Wander will encounter ruins unreachable by a large waterfall. Wander will also encounter a lizard crawling on the ground. Shoot this with the bow to earn a trophy. This lizard serves as a collectible that, when you find, increases your maximum stamina. Only one needs to be found for a trophy, but there are 77 lizards in the game. Undeterred by the waterfall, Wander climbs his way around and enters the nearby lake. As he does, Pelagia emerges from the water. This horned and massive four-legged beast will immediately begin shooting lightning at Wander, so take cover to strategize for your next move. The goal here is to get behind Pelagia, which I did via swimming to climb its back. From here, make your way to the top of the head, but there is surprisingly no weak spot visible. You must hit the nearby stones on top of Pelagia's head to steer it towards the adjacent platforms. Do this to get yourself within reach of the top of one and jump off. Take cover to avoid the lightning, and you will see that a weak spot is now exposed on the belly. Jump to it and take it out. If knocked off, repeat this process until the Thunder of the Lake trophy is yours as Pelagia falls backwards into the lake and does not re-emerge. As Wander is teleported back to the shrine, we get a cutscene of several men on horseback. They spot the shrine in the distance and a large, ominous cloud over it, as one speaks. Now awake, Wander sets off in search of the 13th Colossus. Along the way, Wander finds a tree with fruit he can shoot down. Similar to the lizards, finding this fruit is another collectible, this time increasing your health. While there are over 100 to find, again you only need one for the trophy. In the desert, a sandstorm limits visibility as Wander reaches a stone structure. As he does, Phalanx, a large flying serpent, busts through the sand and takes to the skies. Again, aggro is essential here as Wander must chase after Phalanx and shoot the 3 air sacs underneath its body. This will deflate them and temporarily bring the beast towards the ground. Enough at least for you to ride alongside it with aggro and jump onto a wing. Climb onto the back and find 3 different flaps that will open enough to expose the weak spots. Take out all 3, and the Signs Amidst the Storm trophy will be yours, as Phalanx will crash land in the sand. Wander then proceeds to a large area with many structures looking for the 14th Colossus. Here, he encounters Cenobia, which is similar to Celosia from earlier. This beast is also extremely fast and aggressive and will knock Wander to the ground and barely allow him to get to his feet before attacking again. You must make your way to the top of nearby pillars where Cenobia cannot pursue you. It is not for lack of effort though, as it will ram the pillar, knocking it to the ground. This process must be completed numerous times until Cenobia busts an opening back to the original part of the area. Here, follow the same pattern, but this time the rubble will collapse onto it, breaking its armor. With the back exposed, hit that weak spot to earn the Shield of the Colossus trophy. With only 2 Colossus remaining, Wander travels to the remains of an old city. In a large opening beneath stone bridges, he encounters Argus, a gorilla-like beast. Argus has multiple weak spots, and the process to reach them is the most intricate yet. First, you must lure it over to the far corner of the beginning of the area. Dodge a stomp to break the platform you are standing on, allowing you to reach a higher area. Follow this to the end of the section, where Argus will swing at you wildly, knocking down structures and allowing access to even higher areas. Up top, follow the path all the way to the end of the bridge, but do not stand in the middle. Allow Argus to swing at you, breaking the bridge and providing a place for you to launch at his shoulder or head. Proceed to reach the weak spot on the top of the head, but this is not the only place you have to reach. After this, carefully reach the right arm where a small spot can be hit to make Argus drop its weapon. Doing this will expose the palm of the hand where the final weak spot is located. I nearly fell at the very end, but I had just enough stamina to finish it off. Argus falls forward to the ground, and the Valley of the Fallen trophy is yours. Now, all that remains to revive Mono is the final Colossus. Wander traverses to the southernmost part of the map until he reaches a broken bridge. Fortunately, the gap across is short, but jumping is not an option, as the bridge collapses when you land on the other side. Aggro must be used to make it across. With enough speed, you can outrun the wreckage. Sadly, Aggro is not quite fast enough and sacrifices its life for Wander to proceed. After a brief moment of mourning, Wander reaches the final Colossus, Malice. Malice is easily the largest and most complex Colossus yet. Attempting to reach it head-on is futile, as its fireball attacks will destroy Wander with ease. The key here is to sneakily and carefully move between attacks behind the cover of objects to slowly reach the base of the Colossus. Next, you must climb your way to the highest reachable point. Here, there is a spot to hit that will cause Malice to move its hand. Jump to the hand and climb your way up to the bicep area of the arm for another spot to hit. Hitting this will make Malice bring over his other hand, which you can jump to. Climb to the back of this hand and hit the spot there. This will make Malice lay his hand flat for you to stand on to fire arrows at his shoulder. Hitting this spot will bring the arm towards the shoulder and allow for safe passage towards the head. Malice is extremely irritated when you are on his head and will flail violently and often. You must quickly time your attacks to not run out of stamina, but if you do so, the last of the Colossus trophy will be yours. We once again see the convoy of men on horseback. They finally reach the shrine and open the door across the bridge. They make their way to the altar just in time to see the final idol fall, but they are not pleased. As they pray over Monod's body, Wander re-emerges from battle, but he is not the same. He looks barely alive, and black spirits preside around him. The leader, Iman, tells Wander that he has been used and is now possessed by the dead. Iman looks to put Wander out of his misery. And proceeds to stab him through the chest. However, Wander is not killed and rises to his feet as the black energy encompasses him completely and his body is now completely taken over by Dorman. It turns out, the 16 idols were 16 pieces of Dorman sealed away to keep the demon at bay. Iman's men run away, but Iman takes the sword and drops it into a pool of water at the bottom of the spiral walkway. This creates a supernatural vortex that pulls Dorman away and seals it within the temple. Iman and his men flee the Forbidden Lands and destroy the bridge to the shrine so no one can ever reach it again. Shortly after, Monod awakes, alive and well. Miraculously, Agro also survived the fall despite a bad limp and leads Mono to the watery area where the sword was dropped. However, there is no water anymore, only a small male child with horns on his head. Mono picks up the baby, and her and Agro follow the newly opened path outside. They follow it around to a secret garden full of wildlife and animals. The creatures gather around Mono, who is still holding the child, and the game ends. At this point, the story may be over, but the Platinum journey is just beginning. The next step was by far the most difficult and frustrating part of the entire game, and that was to complete the hard time trial attacks. These will be the greatest barrier to earning the Platinum trophy, and were no joke. To complete these, you should start a New Game Plus on hard difficulty. Having already defeated the Colossus, you can pray at their corresponding idol at the main shrine to initiate the time trial. Unfortunately, your maximum health and stamina does not carry over into the time trials and is very limited at times. The Colossus are extremely aggressive, far more powerful, and will shake and spaz around almost constantly. In addition to Wander doing less damage on weak spots, there will often be an extra weak spot per encounter that must be cleared. For me, the most difficult time attack was without a doubt Gaius, and it wasn't even close. I read that on the original version, you had to complete this in less than 5 minutes, while here, you had 6.5. I can't imagine 5 minutes being possible, as I barely cleared 6.5. The head shaking was so intense and infuriating. I could barely even get a weak hit in, never mind a charged hit, before it would shake again, rendering me unable to attack. I would often have to get off and recharge my stamina, having done very little damage on that run. After many, many failed attempts, I was finally able to complete it with just a few seconds to spare. All of the other time attacks took less time combined than Gaius alone. I just really struggled at this particular fight, as I felt there was no room for error. For every 2 time attacks that you beat, you will earn an item that can be equipped. These range from collectible finders, to skins for Wander and Agro, and the most useful, the Queen's Sword, which deals massive damage to the Colossus. There are 8 items to collect for each of the 16 hard and 16 normal time attacks. Your goal for the trophy is to have all 16 items on the same save file. So, complete the 16 time attacks on Hard Plus, then load Normal Plus and complete those for the trophy. After completing the hard ones, you'll be an expert at the different encounters, so combining that with the Queen's Sword will make the normal time trials a breeze. The final time trial related trophy is to complete the entire game on hard mode in less than 5 hours, 41 minutes, and 28 seconds. With the Queen's Sword and your mastery of the individual battles, this oddly specific time to beat is no problem. The last long and tedious task to complete for a trophy is to max out both Wander's health and stamina. There are 2 ways to do this. You can either run around the map, finding the lizards and tree fruits, or you can keep playing through the game, as defeating Colossus provides a slight boost to both stats. I chose to play through the game more and made sure to complete some miscellaneous trophies along the way. Some of these were combat-oriented, such as defeating Koromori in one go before it could get back up. Defeating Gaius without breaking its armor. And defeating any Colossus with a downward jumping attack. You also have to complete an entire playthrough without dying once. It would have been really useful if the time trial kills rewarded health and stamina, because even after 3 complete playthroughs, I still didn't max out the stats. I needed to get another 27 Colossus kills, which is a 4th complete game plus 11 more, or you can just keep creating a new game plus and defeating the first Colossus in one shot. Either way, this part was extremely grindy and took hours. Had the time trials counted, it wouldn't have been so bad, but as it was, this was very tedious. While fighting through this grind, I took a break to complete some non-combat related trophies. Scattered around the map are 25 shrines that serve as the save locations in case you die while out adventuring. You need to pray at each of these once. Other miscellaneous tasks were things such as interacting with the various animals, performing tricks with aggro, finding a hidden barrel, and collecting a lizard with a special arrow. After finally grinding the health and stamina to the max, there was only one thing left to do for the Platinum Trophy, and that was to climb to the top of the main shrine to reach the secret garden. This is not possible until your stamina is maxed, as it is a long climb to the top. Once you reach the top, you need to cross the bridge and eat the poison fruit. Crossing the bridge took forever because, of course it did. But eventually, the Horned Boy Platinum Trophy is yours. I recommend this game and going for the Platinum if you are a fan of epic boss battles and platforming. Just know in advance the very difficult time attacks and wonky camera. You will find yourself battling the camera just as much as the Colossus themselves. I would position the camera so I could run in a straight line along a Colossus' back, just for the camera to completely rotate in the middle of my run. It was sometimes difficult to see from some angles, and the game was a little glitchy with the physics. However, don't let this stand in your way, as this is a great game that is worth playing. By the time you complete the game, you will be a pro at each battle, and it was a great feeling of accomplishment and satisfaction to get the platinum. Each Colossus fight was uniquely epic and just a fun time all around. It takes some time to learn the mechanics of each fight, but once you know what to do, it made everything worth it. The slow progression and everything coming together in the end reminded me of playing a raid on Destiny, how you had to learn the nuances to really master the encounters, and by the end, you will wonder how you struggled so badly at the start. The process of maxing out Wander's stats was grindy, but compared to the PS3 version, where you had to collect all lizards and fruit, as well as complete the 5-minute Gaius run, it was not nearly as bad as it could have been. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time for Platinum Review number 47.